Members, I fought vociferously against this bill last session in the Senate. I said we would be back. I said we would hear more. I said it'd be more than $18. I said a lot of things, and I think a lot of people had remorse. The most I would love to see for this to be zero, because that's what I was fighting for last time. Unfortunately, those bills have died. But what this is a tax cut. The tax right now is $32. It was cut with this to $18. I am voting for a tax cut, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. More importantly than voting for a tax cut, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, I am voting to cap this. If we do not cap this, even if all this said was cap, I would have to vote yes, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, because if we do not cap this, next year it's going to be 50, then it's going to be 100, and then it's going to be 150. It's going to be whatever they want it to be. So members, I highly encourage you to vote for the cap. I highly encourage you to vote for the tax cut, because if you don't, you will be hearing from your constituents every time they get their registration. So with that, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, I vote aye.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I rise to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Last year, I was against the $18 fee increase. I find it interesting that as legislators, we thought, those who did support this, that it was only going to be a certain amount, but then it was allowed to go dramatically above that. We received quite a bit of pushback from our constituents. I speak for my constituents and I vote for my constituents. Not one came to me and said, we want a higher fee. I think that this needs to be repealed. And if we're going to be making promises to fund things, we better be making sure we can fund them before we make the promise. And I think the executive has the ability to keep control of the agencies and can help them decide to lower that fee. I don't think it should be us. It shouldn't have passed in the first place, and with that, I vote no.